Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. I wanted to share with you the makeup products that have been on my face on repeat for the last month. And since I got so many kind compliments about my makeup in my last video, I thought it would be fun to share my March favorites and also recreate that makeup look because most of the products were the products that I have just kind of in my everyday, ever growing everyday makeup bag. So let's get started with Complexion. At the beginning of the month, my most used Complexion product was actually the Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. I use this in the shade Vanilla, and I do have to mix it with a little bit of blue color corrector. I use the one from e.l.f. just to kind of cancel out the super peachy tones of it and make it match my skin a little bit better, because you can see this, it's quite peachy on my skin, but when I do a little bit of blue color corrector, it ends up being a perfect color match. And I really, really love this formula. It's one of my favorite foundation formulas. I just wish they had better shades, but blue color corrector kind of does the trick. And then towards the end of the month, I thought it'd be fun to mix the Chanel Water Fresh tint with the Chanel concealer. And this is actually the base that I had on in that video. So let's do it. I use the Water Fresh tint in the shade medium. I take 2 pumps and I mix it up on my hand, and then I work it into my brush and paint it on my face. This is a very, very, very sheer product. It's like barely there coverage. It's great no makeup. It's great for when I'm happy with my skin and I just kind of want to have a light hydrating base that just looks like nothing on the skin. I've been really into brushes lately. I noticed that anytime I've been watching any professional makeup tutorials, the makeup artist works the product into the brush and then applies it to the face, usually using gentle pressure, gentle motions. I'm being kind of trying to be more conscientious of the amount of product that I'm using. I've had this conversation so many times with my friends too. It seems to be a universal experience among us that our face just cannot handle as much makeup as it used to. So we are experimenting with lighter textures, lighter pressure, different tools. So this is the Chanel Water Fresh tint. And this actually wears really well on combination oily skin. This truly, I feel like all skin types can wear this. It's really, really beautiful. So then where I want extra coverage, I've been supplementing that coverage mainly around the center of my face with the Chanel concealer. I have this in the shade B30. I've done a more in-depth review of it and a comparison, and I will link that video if you want to check that out. I like this concealer, but I don't love it, and it doesn't perform that well under my eyes, but I have been enjoying it as a face concealer. A touch more coverage, especially, today since I'm on camera. I do need a little bit more coverage. So usually when I am filming, if I'm filming a video, I will use products with just a little bit more coverage. But this wears really, really nicely. This combination works very, very well. I find that the concealer performs better on top of the Chanel water tint than on top of other base products I've tried it with. So Chanel and Chanel work well together. Obviously, they probably designed their products to all work well together. But yeah, under my eyes, I don't love it. It just doesn't wear that well. It's not bad, but it just doesn't wear well. Like after about 4 or 5 hours, it starts looking wonky, and I just have other concealers that perform better. But on the face, especially with the water tint, it performs really well. So I've been into this combo. I also had another V-beam session on my nose. That's why my nose has some little marks on it. I am on a mission to reduce the redness on my nose, and a pulse dye laser like V-beam seems to be the gold standard for that issue. I have tried BBL and IPL in the past, and that has really not done much for my redness. I have some friends that have had really good results with that though, so I guess it depends on your skin, but for me, V-beam seems to be a lot better, but you still need multiple sessions and it does hurt. But thankfully I'm just doing it on my nose, so it goes by super fast. It's like a super intense burst of cold air and then a little bit of pain, because the laser targets like the blood vessels and the broken capillaries in your nose. So it's a bit painful and there's a little bit of swelling after, but it goes away pretty fast, and then you can just cover up with makeup the next day. This has been the base combo. For my under eyes, the Prada concealer is still probably my favorite new concealer launch that I've tried in the past year. This just works really, really well for me. I have this in shade LN3. I also have LW3, but LN3 is it's just like a neutral undertone. It's nice for brightening. And then I've also really enjoyed the Patrick Ta concealer. The Patrick Ta concealer is a little bit more luminous, so I find it a bit more brightening when my under eyes are feeling a bit dull. I want a little bit of extra creaminess, a little bit of extra hydration. This is definitely a more moisturizing formula than the Prada. The Prada is very, very thin, self-setting, and it has like a soft satin finish to it. But I really, really enjoy both of them. Both of these wear better than the Chanel on me. So today, let's use Patrick Ta. I have this in the shade Light Peachy Neutral too. And I'm just gently dotting it in the areas where I need coverage. I like to let it sit and marinate for just a little bit. And while I do that, I'm going to prime my eyelids. The Lisa Eldridge Liquid Silk eyeshadow in the shade Page. This kind of just matches my skin tone and just softens the purpley veins so that when I apply eyeshadow on top, the colors don't get as affected by that purple undertone I have on my eyelids because of my veins. I like a damp sponge for the Patrick Ta concealer. I've tried the brush, I've tried fingers, and ultimately for me, I like the results with the sponge the best. I have a smaller e.l.f. sponge that I like to use for concealer that I really love, and I need to repurchase it because I need a replacement. It's just due for refreshment, but I haven't got the chance to go to Ulta and get a new one. But I really like that one for concealer. So you see there is a little bit of luminosity and hydration under the eyes from the Patrick Ta concealer. The next thing that I did is take the Laura Mercier Tinted Blur Balm. This is in shade 2. I received this from the brand. It's not quite as silicone-y and not quite as matte as other products in this category that I've tried. And the color is nice. I like the undertone of this a lot, but it's a little bit darker than my skin, so I cannot use this all over my face. It does have a really nice blurring quality to it, and with me, I do have some acne scarring on my cheeks, and I've really been enjoying this as like a very soft, barely there contour even. It just adds the most beautiful, soft, subtle dimension to my face. It's really extra. It's a really extra step, but I love the blur. It kind of blurs out the texture from my acne scars. It just adds a hint of blur, a hint of color, but it's very, very natural, very, very subtle. Yeah, it just kind of airbrushes the skin a little bit. I I really like this. I'm grateful that the brand sent it over and I got to try it. Here's the color. And it's not super opaque. It doesn't have, I'd say it has like a light coverage. It's supposed to be able to, you can use it as a bronzer if you get a darker shade. You can use it as a highlighter. They did send me 2 darker shades, but I don't love them because they are a bit too warm for my liking. So depending on your skin, if you have a warmer undertone, these might be better options for you. For me, I really like this shade number 2. Just for like a soft something just to blend out my cheeks. But the other ones are very warm, especially on my skin. So that's shade 4. And then this is shade 3. For powder, I'm using my Hello Kitty Wet n Wild powder under the eyes. And this is a Morphe brush, the A14. And then for the rest of my face, I'm using the Cali Ray loose powder. I have this in shade number 2, I think. Shade Golden. Big fluffy brush. This is a really nice, soft, blurring powder. It doesn't have a lot of oil control or anything, but it does make my makeup wear really nicely. For bronzer, I'm using Fair Homidi Bois. I was really tempted to try one of the new Say bronzers, but then I saw a bunch of reviews from fellow neutral olive undertone people, and I guess they pull really orange, so the last thing I need is another orange bronzer. My eyeshadow of choice has been the Prada Peony Quad. This unfortunately was limited edition from last year. I don't think it's available anymore. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just a really nice, very, very soft, neutral palette. Initially excited about the new Prada blushes that they launched for spring, but the more I think about it, the less, like, the excitement is definitely waning. All the colors, again, they seem to be quite warm. There's no moody, desaturated, neutral situation. They all kind of seem to be quite bright. They seem like they might pull too warm on me for my preference. And again, I have so many blushes already, and a lot of them, like, I've already have my warm blushes covered. I'm always just looking for interesting, subtle, neutral situations. And then the packaging just kind of, I get what they're doing. It just kind of reminds me of Polly Pocket. It reminds me of the Polly Pocket toy I had as a kid. It's just like this silly little plastic container, and you're supposed to be able to stack them, I guess. It's not like they're a bargain. They're very expensive, and I guess a lot of people are complaining about the quality of the packaging. Okay, so we have the eyeshadow here. I'm just using that shimmery pink from the palette all over the eyes. And then I did take just a little tiny little bit of color, just like of this brown on the lower lash line, but very, very subtly. And then I took some eyeliner. The Sarah Creel eyeliner is still my favorite. I kind of rotate between different shades depending on the season and depending on my mood, but this past month I've been back on my everyday taupe kick. This is just the perfect everyday eyeliner in my opinion. It's like a barely there taupey brown. It just adds the most beautiful subtle definition. Now this is not the eyeliner that you buy if you want that super, super smoky vibe, because this does set really quick, so you don't have time to really, really smoke it out the way you can do the Victoria Beckham kajals or anything like that. This is a different formula. This is more of a gel liner that sets. It's still quite creamy when you're applying it, but it just sets very fast. So it comes with a little brush, but you do have to move fast if you want to do any smudging or blending. The babiest of baby wings with it, like this suggestion of a wing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait and apply my mascara after I do my setting spray. Let's do the blush and the lips next. So my favorite blush for the past month has been the Fui Pudding Pot in the shade Faded. I bought this from Yes Style, but I've had it for a while. I've had this for over a year. They have these at Ulta now. And I did buy the little applicator with it. I think that they have a bigger applicator. This is a really fun like silicone tip sponge. I don't like digging my hands into these pots. So they have these little applicators that are supposed to mimic the effect of your finger. So you just kind of dab it in and then dot it on your cheek. And I just kind of work on the shape and the intensity depending on what I want. Doing the other cheek. This is a BK Beauty 109 brush, but honestly, anything that's dense will work. You need a dense brush for this. Sun is out and it's kind of skewing the colors a little bit. It's making things look a little warmer because it's so sunny outside, but you can see it's not a warm. It's like a really nice neutral. And then I take whatever's left on the applicator and I just put it on my lips. Sometimes I do the lip liner stain. This is the Buble Cherry Cola. This is nice because it's really long lasting. So I almost use this as a contour. And then I refine things with Lisa Eldridge 0N. Oh, this is an extra step. This is something that I would do like for a night out or if I'm filming or taking pictures. If I'm just doing like an easy everyday lip, Makeup by Mario Smoky Pink liner and then the Ilia lip gloss in the shade Crystalline have been, this is like my easy everyday effortless lip, and then this is my putting in effort lip. Another lip product, a new lip product launch that really has impressed me has been the Westman Atelier, the Hydra Tint, the Hydro Balm tinted lipstick. This is what I wished the Merit lipsticks were. This is, to me, like the pinnacle of a sheer lipstick. It's not too matte. It's not too shiny. It's not silicone-y. It doesn't have that blurring capability of a silicone-y type of formula, but just the way that this feels on the lips is so phenomenal. This is the shade Pop, and it's like the prettiest sheer flush of color. This makes every lip combo, every nude lip combo look better. I love this. I'm going to do a video and talk about them more. I have 3 shades. I just ordered another one. I also ordered the new Westman Atelier bronzer, so I'm going to do like a new makeup roundup with swatches, comparison swatches, just ahead of the Sephora sale, so that is coming. But this has been one of my favorite new beauty launches. It's just really, really pretty. It's just exactly the kind of lip product that I want. Just a joy to use. This is Makeup by Mario Smoky Pink. This with Ilia Crystalline Gloss. This has been kind of my easy, everyday, nudish pink shiny combo. And then this is a heavy swatch of Westman Atelier Pop, and this is a sheer swatch of Westman Atelier Pop. I just love the way this looks sheared out. One of my favorite lipsticks when I was in my early 20s was MAC Ladybug, and this kind of is like a refined, sheerer version of that. I just really love the way this looks sheared out. It's so gorgeous, and it looks so intimidating in the bullet, but it is a dream on the lips. I love it. Even just doing Makeup by Mario Smoky Pink with the Westman Atelier Pop and then Ilia Crystalline Gloss on top, you'd think it would be such a weird combo, but somehow it works and everything just looks so good together. This is the Chanel Rouge Coco Gloss in the shade 722. This is a nice cool tone shimmer. Super comfortable gloss. And that is it, my friends. That's the finished look. Almost forgot mascara. To be honest though, I have been really into the no mascara thing a lot of the times on an everyday basis, I will skip mascara. There's actually a really interesting product that I want to try from The Ordinary that's supposed to just kind of hold your curl, but without adding any bulk to the lashes. It's a nice concept, so need to give that a whirl. That seems to be the perfect product for a no makeup, no mascara look, especially for my lashes because they just don't like holding a curl. My finished look, this is the everyday makeup look that I've been loving the most from the past month. Really, really love the way all the tones come together. It's really soft and pretty, a little bit of pink for spring. So yeah, this is it. Like I said, I will do a new product roundup once I receive the new Westman Atelier bronzer and I play around with it a little bit. I want to talk about some new launches, the new launches at Sephora that I think are worth considering. Since the sale is coming up on April 10th, I feel like there have been a lot of really solid beauty launches lately. I am excited about makeup. I'm in a phase where I am excited about makeup. Excited, but also kind of reeling it in because we don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to get to a point where I'm too overwhelmed with my makeup collection again. I feel like I'm in a really good place. As always, I'll be chatting with you in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day and I will see you in my next video. Bye.